Okay, folks, buckle up because this deep dive is, well, it's a doozy.
It certainly is.
We're talking about Donald Trump being named Times Person of the Year
Again.
for 2024.
For 2024.
You know, Time Magazine names a Person of the Year every year.
Every year.
Right. And this isn't his first rodeo, right? He won in 2016.
He did, yeah.
And now he's back.
He is.
And the sources we're looking at are describing this as like a cosmic roller coaster.
A roller coaster for sure.
So we're going to try to unpack like what makes this choice so fascinating,
Yeah.
so controversial, and like historically significant.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of the above.
So let's
dive in.
Let's dive in. Why Trump?
Why Trump? Well, according to Time, there are three major reasons, and they use some pretty vibrant language to describe them.
Very colorful.
First, they call it a historic comeback. An unparalleled return to the presidency after losing in 2020.
I mean, come on, you got to admit, that's pretty remarkable.
It is. It's unprecedented, really. Second, changing the game. They argue that he's driving a once-in-a-generation political realignment.
Wow.
And reshaping America's role in the world.
It's like he's reprogramming the navigation system of the political spaceship, right?
It's just one way to put it.
You know, and then there's the fact that he survived 2 assassination attempts in 1 year, which Time calls surviving the unsurvivable.
Can you imagine?
Like, talk about dramatic, right? It's like something out of a movie.
Absolutely.
Almost, you know.
Larger than life.
Larger than life.
Yeah.
And Time really leans into that, you know. Like when they describe his comeback, they use this analogy about an underdog winning a galactic race.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that comparison?
Yeah, it certainly captures the sense of surprise, right? I mean,
Wow.
Nobody expected him to win again. It was a shock to many.
It was a shock to a lot of people.
But he did.
He did, and it, you know.
Against all odds.
Against all odds, you know.
Yeah.
And he seems to be reveling in it, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
He marked this win by ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange.
Which is, a pretty big deal.
A pretty big deal.
Historically, it's a tradition that goes back to the late 19th century.
Really?
Yeah, it's meant to signal the start of the trading day and instill confidence in the markets.
Wow, I didn't realize it went back that far.
Oh, yeah, it's a long-standing tradition.
Fascinating.
And then, of course, there's that wide-ranging interview he did with Time.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
Where he discussed everything from his election victory to his second-term plans.
Which are ambitious, to say the least.
That's one way to put it.
Mass deportations, pardoning January 6th defendants, his views on global conflicts.
Right. And Time, they compare this to a starship captain changing the flight plan mid-journey.
What do you think about that comparison?
It's bold. It suggests a decisive leader.
But it could also be seen as reckless, right?
Absolutely.
Like he's not really thinking about the consequences.
It does raise questions about his approach to governing.
Right. And speaking of reactions, social media, predictably, has exploded.
As it always does.
Right. It's a mix of congratulations, sarcasm, and just, like, disbelief.
Yeah, people are processing it in their own way.
One source even compared it to the galaxy learning that the most notorious space pirate just got a medal for bravery.
I saw that.
Do you think that's a fitting comparison?
It definitely captures the controversy surrounding him, right?
Totally.
To some, he's a hero, a disruptor.
Right.
To others, he's a dangerous demagogue.
And this win just kind of fuels both sides, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It deepens the divide.
And it's all happening against the backdrop of his history with Time Magazine, right?
Oh, yeah.
They even called it a love-hate relationship.
Multiple covers, some pretty heated exchanges.
It's been eventful, to say the least.
To say the least.
So where does this all leave us?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, these moments, they're just threads in this much larger and often confusing tapestry of human history.
That's a good way to put it.
What kind of thread is this Trump win?
Right. What kind of thread is it?
Will it lead to stability or further division?
Will it strengthen or weaken America's standing in the world?
We don't know yet, but the possibilities are both fascinating and concerning.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
So for our listeners out there, what stands out to you the most about this deep dive?
Yeah. Is it the reasons behind Time's choice?
Is it Trump's actions?
His plans for his second term?
The public reaction?
Here's a final thought to leave you with, something to really chew on.
Right.
If Time's Person of the Year truly represents the person who most shaped the news, for better or worse,
Right.
what does this second win for Donald Trump say about the state of the world in 2024?
Yeah.
What does it say about the direction we're heading in?
Big questions.
Big, big questions.
A lot to ponder.
A lot to ponder as we navigate this complex and ever-changing world.
That it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.